Simone contacted me to say she'd like to book me for this night, and it's the 5th of August, which is the 5th of the 8th, and it was the date I was planning to do the launch, because the book is called Departure Line 58. So I've always got this thing about numbers, you know, and the book's got 58 pages, 58 poems, and it costs £5.80. You know what I mean? I've done books in the past. Diamonds Are Forever, which was like 44. It's got 44 pages, 44 poems, and costs £4.34. So yeah, numbers. You know, I've got to think about them. Anyway, the printers that was going to print this for me originally, I only found out yesterday morning that they'd gone bust. So I found a local printers in Cardiff who came to the rescue and managed to get them done in a day. I don't know why I didn't go in there in the first place, because they've done a brilliant job. Turned up at 3:30 this afternoon, and they were just finishing trimming them, so they're literally hot off the press. Do you know what I mean? And you know, so this is it. But yeah, that's the story about it, I suppose. The first one I'm going to read is the first poem in the book. It also mentions Facebook, but this is and actually I should say the person that she's referring to, he really was he was awful on there, really. But I think Sue handled quite well. Anyway, this is about people who don't use Facebook, I suppose. And it's called Phone Book. Phone rings Sunday Eve. Today she does believe she'll contact her favourite old flame and hope that he still feels the same. I lift the receiver. I pause. Is that Gerald? Marjorie or Maggie or Maureen had decided today would be the day, from the old school of course, pre-Facebook, when contacting old flames or old school friends meant trawling the phone book, hoping they're not Ike's directory, then waiting all day till the time you decided would be about right. And though you know what you're doing is a bit strange, was at one time anyway, making you slightly nervous, you have hope, almost certainly it'll come to nothing, but you never know. You never know what might happen, but oh, wrong number. Oh, the relief. Okay. I mean, I've probably done that myself in the past. You know, in the past, when that was more sort of standard thing to do. Okay, this next one. It's quite a long poem, so be prepared. I read this at a 24-hour poetry marathon in Swansea a couple of months back. So they had time to fill. Do you know what I mean? And it went down quite well there. It was originally kind of based on a poem by Simon Armitage, which I haven't been able to find. He read it at Hay and Wye a couple of years back, and I've got his most recent book. It's not in there, but it's loosely based on a poem he did anyway. It's called Dick Strawberry's Spunk. Dick Strawberry's spunk-filled mattress, which may also contain nuts, strands of bite-sized shredded wheat, strips of Tracy Emin's severed head, the froth scraped off the top of a cappuccino, roughly £200 in used £2 notes, crumpled angry letters, never sent, newspaper clippings, toenail and fingernail clippings, clumps of cat hair and plastic bags, old remote controls and unsmoked fags, love letters, straight from the heart, tissue paper and bad art, half-empty bottles and massage bars, freshly picked strawberries and red pubic hairs, crushed flowers that have been there for hours, some good jokes and a wedding invitation, too much fact but staying power, cinema tickets and condom packets, old jungle tapes and hip-hop CDs, occasional mood swings, attitude and the spirits of other mattresses. But it did not contain sweetness and light, or anything pink and nice, or anything useful or orange, or missing children, or fruit bar one rotten apple core, or universities, or universal truths. But on the other hand, the mattress didn't suck. If it had been a person, the mattress wouldn't have said, I guess, or made jokes about your mom. At least it had that in its favour. The mattress, for the most part, remained politically neutral, but aesthetically, the mattress was basically a mess, and it didn't smell great either, and as Dick Strawberry did have some pride, he decided to do the decent thing and empty his mattress. He took the contents to a rubbish dump where rubbish belongs, so it doesn't matter if there's the rubbish contents of a rubbish mattress there. Then, he filled his mattress to bursting point with milk, painted it white, left in a room he'd also painted white, and waited for a porcupine to come along and prick it. Finally, he filmed himself waiting, and when the applause came and he was covered in the exploded contents of the mattress, a voice of a man said, "You know when you've been knocked." Okay, right. Actually, originally the applause is supposed to come before, and it's supposed to, well, you know. Actually, there's a poet from Bristol called Peter Hunter who does an amazing long poem as well, actually. But anyway, right, okay. This next one that I'm going to read from the new book, I'm just sort of going through them in order. You see, some people sometimes when they're reading from a book and they have all these page markers and they're skipping back and forth and they seem to get a bit lost. So I'm just going to go through in order more or less. Well, I am. This one has got a little bit of audience participation actually, so you can have a go with that at the end. It's called Piece of Cake. I was in the coffee shop reading the Echo. Had my iPod on, so couldn't hear the people around me talking. In the corner, there's a group of 4 or 5 lads joking about. In front of me, there's a large amount of a fairly tempting piece of chocolate cake that had been left behind. I'd read about a third of the paper and drunk about a third of my coffee when I decided, what the hell, and pulled off a large chunk of the cake with my fingers, popped it into my mouth, not really caring if any of the people around me had seen. It was a tasty piece of cake that had been left behind. Why shouldn't I eat it? After I'd read about another third of the paper and drunk about another third of my coffee, I decided I might as well have another piece of the tasty cake. So, same as before, I picked a piece off and gobbled it up. I looked over at the lads. My music was still on, but I could see that they were laughing. I didn't think they were laughing at me, but I started thinking that what they'd done before I ate the second piece was had a bet on whether I would eat another piece of the cake. I thought that's what I might have done if I'd been watching me anyway. I found this quite funny and sort of smirked. I expected that they'd probably be betting on whether I'd have a third piece of the cake. So this is where the audience participation comes in. What do you think? Do you think I had another piece of the cake? And I've got some odds here. We've got 8 to 5 on, didn't have another piece of the cake. Evens had another piece of the cake, and 3 to 1 against, ate all the rest of the cake. Do you want to have a bet?
Take all the rest.
Take all the rest.
You're going for the long odds. Well, I'll take the money. I mean, you know, I'm not going to clarify this, but I mean, you know, and I could be making it up. But to be honest, I only had one more piece.
You've rewritten the poem. You've now rewritten the poem, so we lose.
Well, no, I'm being honest. I was really, I mean, I could cheat. Obviously, I could cheat, you know, but.
Yes, you definitely could cheat.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, that's what a good bookmakers will do, isn't it? I know. Yeah, right.
It's in the rules.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, no money was taken there anyway. Didn't notice that. I didn't. I could have. No, I could have done. Yeah. All right. That's okay. I'm going to try. Actually, anyway, the other thing this book has got, it's got some sports. It's got some sports poems. In the sports section, there's even got illustrations. This you can see Rooney on the cover of the Sun there. And I've got a poem about Rooney. And this one it's you know, just after the World Cup. Could go a bit out of date, this one. I think some of these would actually. That's the only problem with poetry. If you do topical poetry or if you do anything that's topical, they can go out of date. But this is Rooney versus the Vuvuzela. The fellow with the yellow Vuvuzela wound the crowd in Cape Town with his loud vuvuzela. The boys in red and whitey from Blighty kicked up an almighty stink. Do you really think this is how to cheer on a team, they said? Sing's the key to winning, do you know what I mean? So they sang Hope and Glory, but could Rooney score? No, he could not. Barely even a shot, same old story. So the Hoodoo Guru's voodoo did its magic. The English play was tragic, there were boo-hoos all around. Instead of cheers, they left for voo-voos resounding in their ears. Okay, I put that one on YouTube actually, if anyone want to see that one. Okay, right, just do 2 more. I've done 2 sections I think, so do a couple more sports ones. This one's stuck in the middle, and this one has actually been in a few different books, but I put it in this one because, well, there's a reason for it. One of the illustrations sort of goes with it, I think. And also, it is slightly different. Every time I rewrite this poem, there's a bit about my age in it, and I adjust that. And but I actually like to use a bit of poetic license to make myself older than I really am, because I think it sounds better in the poem. So this is, and also I should point out, obviously being from Cardiff, Cardiff supporter, I guess West Wales here probably more Swansea supporters, so helps in the right view. Okay, it's called Crowd Scouts. Because he always knew they existed and watched him walk in, confident in big blue denim coat and sometimes LS cap. Watched the way he took his place amongst the ranks, always made sure he looked the part, always in the bob bank at the back. Because he knew they saw his thrill for the occasion, how he was ready every time to celebrate a goal, his skill at keeping hot coffee steady and a fag. But what he guessed at most was they'd seen him kicking bottle tops and disco bars, skin the pass posts, loving each game, cheering don't stop, attack. He'd always sensed what these scouts wanted was not some fresh-faced schoolboy who, yes, could score loads, but a passionate 38-year-old to outpace the Jacks. And so, although he feigned complete surprise to receive a letter to say, Mr. Fisk, you're signed, he knew the team would now be better with Nicky Fisk filling the gap. That's my footballer's name, Nicky. I like the, Nicky Fisk. I'm a footballer. Okay. All right. Last one in this section then, and so it's another sports one. Sorry for people aren't into sport, but if any cricket fans in the audience, you're probably aware that Muralitharan recently set the he got 800 Test wickets on his very last ball. The very last ball he ever bowled in Test cricket, he hit 800, which is quite an achievement. It's slightly controversial because some people say he throws it, but I don't know. I think that's just the cynics. Okay, and it's called Chart Toppers. Muralitharan today broke the record for the most Test wickets taken. In my flat, another record was set. A Teach Yourself HTML CD my dad had left me was finally moved from the top of the microwave after having been there for a good 8 weeks. Previous chart toppers have included a TV licence reminder, a baseball cap, and Shane Warne.